Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down. Man's old age dream, the ultimate in individual freedom consistent with law and order, or down to the ant-heap of totalitarianism. And regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. We know that the leftist bias media is pushing a propaganda that there is no suppression of particular voter fraud. But as we've seen as of late, there has been a significant amount of potential, presumably, voter fraud and voter suppression.
Sir, did you fill out the 1170?
I think I did.
Did you fill out the 1170?
I filled this out.
That's the 1190. You're going to have to go stand in the blue line.
Look, I was already in that line.
Sir, don't get snippy with me.
Well, I've been here all morning.
That is not my prerogative, sir.
I wait in one line. They send me to another line.
You know
They
what?
send me
You
back
can
to
always call to make an appointment.
I try to call. I can't get through. The line's always busy. It's ridiculous.
Go wait in the appointment line, then.
I don't want to wait.
Sir,
I've got a job. I don't have all day. I can't say this.
You're going to have to take that somewhere else.
Hard.
All right, you know what? I'm on break.
And we'll see this here in this video clip that I'll share shortly, where leftist bias propaganda media is saying Donald Trump is saying that this is wrong and blah, 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 and he is wrong. And we're going to see that an individual actually walks off set. He walks off set, but we know what is going on because of the intro webs. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Here is a clip of 16 ballots under one address, addressed to different people.
Jamie Visaya says she received 16 unopened ballots within the last week. You saw it there. They were all addressed to her unit under names she'd never heard of before. It started on Friday. Visaya says she went to check her mailbox to find 9 ballots inside. Then a few days later, 7 more ballots appeared. Again, addressed all to Visaya's unit number.
Management said no one's lived here for 3 months. Why didn't I get all of their other mail forwarded here, or junk mail, or anything like that?
The King County Elections Office told our Seattle station, quote, even if someone gets a second ballot or more, whether under their name or someone else's, will only ever count 1 ballot per registered voter with their matching signature.
Will they? Who knows? Now, in this next clip, we're going to see leftist propaganda media. We're going to see Hugh Hewitt completely melt down and leave the interview because we have Jonathan Buttercup Sweet Cheeks interviewing, saying that Donald Trump is claiming cheating as if it's being undermined in some capacity. But we know that Donald Trump won a lawsuit for voter suppression, and they're completely denying that fact.
Is it me, or does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities? And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, that's what he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair unless in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan,
that
I've
work
got
out
to
last time, but it didn't work out
Ruth
this time.
finish,
It
Hugh.
may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't
based
come
in
back,
fact.
Jonathan. I'm done.
But
I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
So Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually I think this is perfect. We're going to put it on the screen. You wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." Talk more about that, Ruth.
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
Oh, Ruth froze. Ruth is frozen. So hang in there, everyone. We're going to see if we can try to get Ruth back to this We're going to get Ruth back in a moment. This is First Look, Washington Post Live's nonstop shop for news and analysis, and Ruth is back. So I'm going to read that quote back again from your column, Ruth, where you wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." We lost her again. Everybody, if you've been watching First Look, you know that these conversations can be interesting, contentious. You just saw Hugh Hewitt leave the conversation, which is lamentable, unfortunate. It is what it is. I am Jonathan Caper. I want to thank you all very much for joining us on First Look. For more of these important conversations, please sign up for a Washington Post subscription.
First off, I love seeing leftist, biased propaganda media completely melt down on a live broadcast. It is so welcoming to my soul, because to see Ruth freeze after Hugh Hewitt leaves the interview is just another sign from you know who above to show that the way that they are portraying this entire scenario in this election season is complete BS. What do you guys think about that? Drop your comments down below. Let me know. I'm going to jump into Mesa County, Colorado has uncovered voter fraud ballots were stolen and sent to voters.
Some ballots are counted. The Secretary of State says at least a dozen mail ballots were stolen, filled out, then mailed back in. Good evening, I'm Mikaela White.
And I'm Michael Spencer. Your political reporter Sean Boyd is here with more on what is now a criminal investigation. So Sean, how was this discovered?
Through the state's signature verification system. County clerks use election judges and in some cases a machine to compare the signatures on the ballot envelopes to those clerks have on file. When they don't match, voters are notified. 3 of those voters whose ballots were stolen received a notice and alerted the clerk's office to fraud. Another voter contacted the office after learning from the state's ballot tracking system that their ballot had been turned in by someone else. Election officials began comparing signatures and noted some of them appeared to be signed by the same person. They launched an investigation, but not before 3 of the stolen ballots had already been counted. Those ballots cannot be retrieved, and the votes will count, but the 3 voters will receive new ballots.
This shows the resiliency of our process here in Colorado, that if somebody tries to do nefarious things, it will be discovered through our processes.
Mesa County is now working through every envelope that has already been processed to go and double check everything.
The Secretary of State
Profile pic
says
doesn't
Mesa
look like that.
County is re-examining every ballot and all other counties she has alerted to this fraud. She wouldn't say if any suspects have been identified or if this may be part of a bigger scheme in addition to the Mesa County District.
A bigger scheme? Presumably, I think so. This is Project Veritas. They did an undercover investigation, Project Veritas. The quote on this is, "You don't think that voter fraud is real? Think again." If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, smash the like button if you kindly would, and then get this video out to everybody.
You voted in the election in January of last year?
The presidential.
And did you register?
No, I wasn't registered either.
Are you registered now?
Oh, I never filled anything out. No.
Okay, then I can't see how you can vote because you're not registered.
Remember, I do remember him.
Okay.
Remember, we was allowing anyone to come in.
We was allowing anybody to come in and they say presidential.
Yeah, Dorothy General, they just let us.
Okay. I'll let you fill out a ballot now. Whether or not it's going to be, they're going to count it, I don't know.
But I don't know if it works because I'm an
It does
Irish.
work.
But I'm an Irish citizen. I'm not.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you have some citizenship here?
With the work visa, yeah.
Listen, we'll let you do it. They'll figure that out.
The brand new one, yeah. There's no much many new ones, just so you know.
Exclusive undercover investigation regarding potential voter fraud in the United States of America.
The Republican National Committee has filed another lawsuit against the Detroit Department of Elections, alleging that the city deleted Dropbox surveillance footage, violating the Freedom of Information Act. According to the lawsuit, the RNC requested the footage earlier this year, but they never received it. The video was requested in connection to the absent voter ballot Dropbox. The city responded to the lawsuit, stating by the time the video was found, it had been recorded over and was no longer available. The RNC also filed a lawsuit against the city in August, alleging that city officials didn't hire enough Republican poll workers. The Republican National Committee has
Surveillance all of a sudden goes missing. Interesting. Interesting. Here is a voting machine. Shout out to the individual that, I don't know who did this, but shout out to the individual that recorded them voting on a voting machine. She clearly presses Donald Trump and it clicks Kamala Harris. There's been numerous accounts where Donald Trump's name was spelled incorrectly. There have been accounts where situations like this have occurred, where individuals are clicking Donald Trump's name. Make sure that you guys are printing out your ballots, guys. Make sure that you're printing out your ballots. Get your friends out there to vote. Vote, vote, vote. And this is from I believe it's from an Instagram, and they closed it early and did not let anybody else in the line.
I have a question. I have to bring someone here about 4 o'clock to vote. Are they
I'm
gonna?
going to ask you to talk to this.
Are they gonna turn everyone down?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this gentleman because the voting is closed right now.
It's closed.
I just want you to talk to this gentleman.
We have the right to vote until 4:30.
I get you. Here's
Why
what
is it
happened.
closed?
Let me explain it to you.
Please.
Okay. This process is very slow and grueling.
That doesn't matter if we're online.
Very slow and grueling.
Doesn't matter if we're online by 4:30. We have the right to
reason why it
vote.
had to close was because a high volume of people wanted to do this. Slow and grueling.
Well, then they
So
have to
had
wait till everyone's.
They had to cut the line at 1:45.
They cut the line at 1:45.
1:45.
You hear that, everyone? They cut the line at 1:45.
Here's your. here's
This
the form
is
right here.
voter fraud, by the way.
No, it's
Who?
not.
Yes, it is. Oh, voter protection. I heard about that on X. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Contact
Voter protection. Let's see what
contact
that's from.
the county commissioners to complain.
This is, and so you don't think this is voter fraud? This is voter fraud. See that, everyone? They cut the line, even though we have till 4:30.
There's a lot of it going on. We got to get out there and vote. And then we have to report any suppression of activity going on. We got to report it and we got to publicize it. We got to get this out to everybody. body. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's crazy to me. Hugh Hewitt leaves because leftist propaganda media doesn't want to admit that there has been some voter suppression in a lawsuit that Donald Trump won. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.